Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the most unpopular opinions on Reddit from the subreddit r/unpopularopinion. And for each of these, we are going to be judging with the old gavel here, which definitely isn't just a lint roller, whether I agree with these opinions or not. And as if you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll know my opinion is fact, so it really matters what I decide here. Most people shouldn't have dogs. I fucking agree. Fucking agree. Dogs are hard work. Have you ever had to look after a dog? It's hard work. They're hard work. I shouldn't have a dog. Like, it's as simple as that. I shouldn't have a dog. I don't know why this is unpopular, but it is. Too many people get dogs without thinking of the scope of responsibility. Too right. You should not have a dog if you can't afford major medical bills. You should not have a dog if you need to keep it locked up 10 to 16 hours a day. Too right. Too right. If you have a job, if you're a single person and you have a job which requires you to be out of the house loads, don't get a dog. Do not get a dog. It's like I always say this. A dog is like one factor off having a child. Like, they're needy animals. I swear people think that they are some anime characters or something. I'm going to get my loyal companion who is perfectly trained and it's all perfect. The reality is extra bills and extra responsibility that people are not prepared for. The dogs get neglected and you end up with a bigger problem. People complain how hard it is to get a dog from the shelter, but I honestly think it should be harder. Oh my God. I have a friend who once said to me, my dogs don't visit the vets. Your dogs don't visit the vets. What do you mean by that? Very sternly. She currently has a poor 13-year-old Yorkie whose back legs haven't worked in 2 years and only has about 3 teeth left. It needed to be put out of its misery 2 years ago. She said it can die peacefully. That dog ain't dying peacefully, man. Like, that dog is not dying peacefully. Its back legs haven't worked for 2 years. Everyday cars should not be designed to exceed 100 miles an hour. This is something I never get. Like, people that get cars and they're like, oh yeah, it goes 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Why? Why do you need that? You're not racing. You're not racing on the fucking. I tried to think of a Formula One track, but you're not racing. I don't know anything about Formula One. You're not racing on the Mercedes-Benz world, are you? Huh? I totally agree. I mean, seriously, think about it. If the highest speed limit in most places is 75 to 85 miles an hour, then why do we even need the capability? We don't. No one is driving their car at 150 miles an hour. And if they are driving their car at 150 miles an hour on the street, then they need to be put in prison. Most students don't really hate math. What they actually hate is feeling like a failure. Disagree. Maths is boring. Maths is so boring. No, I totally disagree with that. And I know people that do enjoy maths, and it's a very much to each their own thing. I, however, do not like maths. It is boring. It is very boring. Because if you don't have good foundations, you struggle. And who likes to struggle? Most students who say they hate math don't really hate it, but instead they hate feeling like a failure. You see, the thing is, I was bad at art. I wasn't very good at art at school, but I still enjoyed it, even though I wasn't good at it. It wasn't the same with maths. I still wasn't very good at maths, but I did not like it because it was not fun. They hate all these numbers they have to memorize or processes they have to memorize. Nobody told them why it's important in terms they understand, so they feel it's busy work and that's just not fun. So slowly they start to not care until they're forced to care or be retained. Yeah, no, like, maths, I don't know. I think maths is just boring. I think some people are just not allowed to enjoy maths. And yeah, if you're not good at maths, you're not going to enjoy it because then it's boring and also you're bad at it. If someone catches a ball at an MLB game with their bare hands, don't pressure them to give it to a kid. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000,000,000%. Suck them kids, man. Like, they'll have plenty of other opportunities. Me, an adult, I'll have less opportunities because I'm going to die first, probably. I mean, I've never been to an MLB game, but if I went to an MLB game and I caught a ball, no chance I'm giving it to some snot-nosed kid. Absolutely not. It's pretty rare for someone to catch a ball at an MLB game. Tonight, my boyfriend caught his very first ball with his bare hands, and before the ball even landed in his hands, some random guy sitting next to us says, give it to the kids, she's adorable. Oh, shut up. I do not care. I would put it in my pocket. I don't care if all the Americans around me screamed at me and threw shit at me. I don't care. It's my ball. I caught it with my bare hands. Who are you to tell us what to do with the ball? My boyfriend ended up giving it to the kid. Oh, your boyfriend's a pussy. He's got no backbone. I caught a puck last year at an NHL game. This mum with her kids in front of me turned around and said I should give it to one of her kids because it's only the second time they've been to an NHL game. Piss off. No. And they're very excited. I said this is the first time I've been able to see an NHL game and I'm keeping the puck one on. Someone with some fucking backbone. Should have asked her which one she loves most and then keep the puck after she decides. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally agree. Being chronically late all the time is 100% a choice. Yes. Hard agree. I hard agree on that. Like, so a lot of the time, right, I'm 5 minutes late to things. And that's just how I am because, like, my brain doesn't... It's like, oh, you should leave 5 minutes before if you want to get there on time. And then I'm like, oh, shit, I need to do the other stuff. And then I end up leaving, like, on the time I'm supposed to be in the place. So there I'm 5 minutes late. It is my own fault. I'm not going to blame, like, my poor organization skills in my brain. It is totally my fault. I know tons of people are always late and saying they have a condition or it just slips their mind. No, you got to be planning. It is your fault. You got to take responsibility. People that can't take responsibility are the biggest red flags ever. And I get it, things happen, but always being late is your choice. It's not hard to do things in life on time. It's not hard if you have plans and agree to be on time. It's not a condition, it's poor planning. Totally agree, 100%. You're not missing out or wasting your 20s if you avoid drinking, partying, or hooking up. I'm going to go firmly in the middle with this one because I think it's like a to each their own thing. Like, I don't really go out like partying or drinking heavily anymore. I certainly do hook up with the ladies though. But no, I don't really like do any of that anymore. I feel as though once you pass 25, you go from like your club and bar era into your old man pub era. You're like just sitting in the pub with your whiskey on ice or your pint. Oh, it's great. Oh man, I didn't used to enjoy a pint before I was like maybe 25, but now there is no greater joy than the 2-3 times a week I go to the pub with a friend and I just get that pint. It's like, it's there's something great about it. I'm not an alcoholic, I swear. I just enjoy a pint. But I don't drink heavily. I'll have like 2 or 3 if I go to the pub. Like, I don't drink heavily anymore. But I feel as though like there are formative moments you have maybe in like your late teens, early 20s if you like by going out clubbing and meeting people and sort of doing that. Like, it's not for me now, but like in my early 20s, I very much enjoyed it. I don't understand why people can't grasp the fact that not everyone enjoys drinking, partying, and hooking up. Not everyone considers those things fun. People are genuinely convinced that you're wasting your life away by not doing these things and that you are going to look back on your 20s and realize that you wasted them. How exactly are you going to look back and feel regret if you don't enjoy those? That's a very fair point. Like, if you don't enjoy those things, you don't enjoy those things. There's plenty of other things you can do. So, I'm turning this into an agree. If you just do like, it feels like in your 20s you have like, especially right at the beginning of your 20s, you have less responsibility than you will have over the rest of your life. And in your 20s in general, because most people don't have kids in their 20s. Like, you have less responsibilities in your 20s, so that's a point where you can go out and find like what you want to do, like what hobbies you want to take up. It's very, like, your 20s are very, very formative. Why would you long for something that you don't even like? I hope more people can come to understand that their meaning of fun is not the same as everyone else's. Yes, totally, 100%. I agree with you. I very much agree with you. Going Dutch on a date should be the norm, and anyone who disagrees is a freeloader. I mean, it's 2024, we're not in the 40s. I think going Dutch means, like, you split the bill. It's a really weird way of just saying split the bill. You're meeting someone for the first time, make it make sense. Why would you want to spend money on someone who might turn out to be an absolute arsehole, boring, or a person with a potentially stinkier than unwashed armpit? And anyone who doesn't believe in it is just looking for a fruit. Okay, right. I think it depends. I think it very much depends. I think it depends on who asked who out on the date. I think typically it's whoever asks who out on the date should pay for it. That's my mindset. But I don't know. I think it depends. I'm in the middle with this one. I think it should be more normalized, like splitting the bill. But there are things to factor in. It's not always so black and white. The middle seat is the best seat on an airplane. No. Absolutely not. I'm gonna hear you out anyway because I'm interested to hear what you have to say. I prefer the middle seat on airplanes with the assumption that the two strangers are not crazy. Pros: not having your shoulder and leg bumped by every single person that walks by. Getting up to use the bathroom isn't as complicated as the window seat. Yeah, but you don't really have the benefit of aisle or window. You have none of the benefits. You have all of the downsides. It's just like you got half measures of the pros in the middle seat. It actually has the most leg room after takeoff. What are you talking about as the most leg room? You have the same amount of leg room. After takeoff, you are allowed to have your personal item under your legs instead. Switching gives you... No, what? What are you talking? You can have your personal item under your legs anyway. Switching gives you more legroom than the other seat. No, but you can do that on the other seats. I swear you can. It's just on landing it has to be under the seat in front. It's actually the least awkward seat when receiving snacks. No big reach for the attendant. Yeah, okay, right. That's true, but that's such a tiny thing to factor in. That's such a tiny pro. You can almost always get really close to the front of the plane if you are booking closer to the flight. True, I guess. You by far get the best AC fan. Do you? I don't even know about that. It's fun to sit in awkwardly when the aisle seat is a no-show, but the window seat is still there. I don't know. I think you're wrong. I think you're just straight up wrong. Boneless wings are far superior to traditional wings. Yes. Million percent. Normal wings, they're so fucking... Oh, they're slimy. You got the bone. You got, like, bits of cartilage that get in there. It's, like... Wings are gross. Wings are terrible. I feel as though it's very rare you get really good wings. But boneless wings aren't even wings. They're chicken nuggets. Okay, fine. They are big-ass chicken nuggets, and the chicken nuggets are... They're so much better than chicken wings are gross. They're disgusting. Then I wouldn't go as far to say they're gross and disgusting, but they're the worst bit of the chicken, except for maybe the leg. The leg's pretty grim as well. I just don't like bones. I don't like bones in my chicken. I just want to be able to do that with my chicken. When I'm eating chicken wings, I want to pick up a chicken wing, put it in my mouth, and eat all of it. End of story. 2, right? I paid for 100% of the food, and I eat 100% of the food. It's delicious and easy. 100%. Traditional wings can't compete. It's a chore to find the actual meat among all of the cartilage, fat, and gristle. was what I've been saying my whole life. There's so much like gristle and it's ugh. Like when you get a bit of it in your mouth and like you chew it, but it doesn't like break. You just like it's really like squidgy, but it sends chills down my spine. Any perceived enhanced flavor of the dark meat is immediately negated by the rest of the undesirable crap in there, 100%. Finally, you end up eating like 40% of what's on your plate. You're left with a gigantic pile of bones that is taken away from you at the end of the meal while you reach for a toothpick and remove all of the animal waste that is wedged between your teeth. Too right. I don't think I've agreed with anything more on this subreddit yet. That's spot on. You're spot on, emergency table with 7526. Movies just aren't very good anymore. I don't agree with this. I think if you go looking for good movies, you will find good movies. Yes, I recognize that there are outliers, but the thing is, right, if you look back to say like the 90s or something, you could look at a certain year in there and go, oh my god, all these films got released here. Oh, they were so great, blah blah blah. But there were also a load of stinkers that were released in those years as well. Yes, I recognize that there are outliers. I understand that the industry is saturated. I know that mainstream does not equate to quality. Now, sure, I've aged, but I'm still in my early 30s. Why is every movie putting me to sleep? They all feel unnecessarily long. A lot of them do, to be fair. The plots are ill-contrived or just low effort, and nothing is iconic or memorable anymore. Is Hollywood in its end days? I don't think so. I think there are some movies which are still quite iconic and will be looked back on in the future as being iconic. I'm of the impression that movies are going to die off in favor of TV and miniseries. That does look kind of like where it's going. Perhaps it's our collective attention spans being diminished by social media, but honestly, it feels more like Hollywood producers don't care to create art anymore just to profit off mass-produced garbage. I don't know. I feel as though it's kind of always been that way, but I'll tell you what I think we should bring back. The mid-budget comedy movie. Oh, they were good. They were good. Like, I feel like we do sort of get some mid-budget comedy movies, but they're always just absolute shit from Netflix. Like, it's just like the worst drivel you've ever seen in your life. Like, we don't get any movies like, I don't know, School of Rock anymore, do we? There's nothing like that anymore. Or like Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That was a great movie. So I don't know. I don't think I agree with that one. They should ban the recline function on airplane seats in coach. No, absolutely not. I don't understand where this frustration comes from when someone reclines their seat. It has a fucking recline function. Do you want to sit upright for the whole flight? No. No, you don't. Just if someone reclines their seat, just recline your seat. You'll be more comfortable. It's such a stupid argument. I hate it. I hate it when people are like, oh my god, this person in front of me reclined. Fucking recline then. Oh my god. We have barely any space as it is. If you are a person who reclines their seats in coach, you show that you care more about yourself than other people around you. Maybe if it's like a 2-hour long flight, but if you're flying for, I don't know, like say you're flying across the Atlantic, it's 8 hours long, recline your seat. It's fine. I'm a pretty big guy and I've never reclined my seat unless there is nobody in the seat behind me. Get rid of reclining altogether. No, absolutely not. It's so uncomfortable sitting upright for that many hours. It's like, it's horrible. People should be allowed. It should be the social norm to recline your seat. I didn't even realise it wasn't until a few years ago. The decrease of more formal attire has gone too far. Okay, right, I actually thought about this the other day because back when I was 18, you had to wear like smart shoes to get into a club. Like you could wear basically whatever as long as it wasn't like a tracksuit or something. You could basically wear whatever you wanted on the top half and like your legs and stuff. But you had to wear smart shoes even to get into like there was a club in my hometown that was voted, it was like in the top 10 worst nightclubs in like either the UK or Europe. You still had to wear smart shoes to get in. It was ridiculous. And some of you even had to go in a shirt, like a button-up shirt, like a smart shirt. It was ridiculous. I much prefer it now. I don't really go to clubs all that often now, but if I do, I love just being able to wear Air Forces, you know? Call me a boomer or whatever. People used to have pride in the way they looked in public. I'm not saying we need to go back to everyone wearing a suit and tie/dress every day at the grocery store. Wear some normal pants/shorts and an actual shirt. You look like a slob. You look unorganized. You don't look like someone that has any benefits of associating with. Honestly, you look like a child. That's mean to judge someone off someone's appearance. I don't want to see your basketball shorts stuck inside your ass crack. Or is it appropriate to wear only sports bra when you... Okay, right. I disagree. I think you should be able to wear whatever you want out in public as long as, like, your knob's not out. You're not in a relationship if you haven't seen your girlfriend/boyfriend in real life. Fucking too right. There's too many, like Discord relationships. You know what I mean? You're not in a relationship. You're talking to someone. You're talking to someone on Discord. It's not a relationship. Maybe I'm getting old, but would you really call it a relationship if someone hasn't met the person in real life? The other day, I read a thread about some guy that said he and his girlfriend had watched a movie together. A bit further down, he mentioned that they haven't met each other, man. Having Discord movie nights with your girlfriend that you've never met. I would agree with calling it a friendship, but it's not a relationship where someone/something is a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Burger and fries shouldn't go together. What do you mean by that? This has gotten me into a lot of arguments with friends, but I've always believed that burger and fries don't go well together. The fries and burger buns are rather dry and starchy, which makes the whole experience so boring. Yes, even with good fries and buns. You raise an interesting point here. I believe fries would go so much better with some meat and sauce, and burgers would go better with some sort of salad. Yes, okay, yeah, you know what, I do agree. But together they don't complement each other. P.S. This is not a matter of health or something like that. They just don't go together. Yeah, I totally agree. I think burgers go way better with like salads or something like that, or like even like pasta. I think you have a little side of pasta, like mac and cheese or something. It goes way better. But yeah, I agree. I guess it does go well with fries in the fact that they're both like finger food. Like you don't need cutlery for them, whereas you would for like pasta or salads and stuff like that. With burger and fries, you can just eat it straight there and then. You don't need to have like a fork or anything like that. That's probably why they go together. So yeah, I'd say food-wise, they don't really go together, but practicality-wise, they do. People who say this could never be made today need to get offline for 2 minutes. I fucking totally agree. Like, Twitter isn't real life, you know? Like, you can do a lot. You can get away with, like, saying a lot of offensive stuff. You can get away with making media that is offensive to people. Nothing has really changed, you know? Like, I mean, some things have changed, but not that much has changed. Playing the lottery is a worthwhile investment. No, not because of the expected financial return, but because it is a relatively cheap way to maintain some form of hope. I guess I'll play the lottery every now and then, like if the jackpot's massive, because it's just like a bit of fun in it. But it's not an investment. You can't call the lottery an investment. I'm not reading all of this, right? I'm not reading all of this, but it is not an investment. You cannot call buying a lottery ticket an investment. It's a bit of, it's gambling is what it is. It's not an investment. You wouldn't go to the blackjack table and go, yeah, I'm going to invest £5 on this hand, please. Being a short dude only sucks on dating apps, otherwise you just have no game. I've been saying this. Like, people, like, short guys love to cry. I mean, a lot of people aren't even, like, a lot of people that cry about this aren't even short. They'll be like, oh, I'm like 5'9", I'm just too short. No, you're not. You just have absolutely no game. Being short my whole life, I put it in quotes because I'm 5'4". I'm the shortest of my friend group, but I have distant friends even shorter than me. They're married to gorgeous women. I've never had a problem with women up until I started relying on dating apps. Dating apps are kind of soul-sucking, but the idea behind them is you can be short. Yeah, exactly. But still, I feel as though you do have a good chance on them. Just, you know, maybe bump yourself up a few inches, maybe, and then, you know, maybe wear some big shoes to the date, I guess. You know, they're not gonna pull out a tape measure, are they? You know? If you're a short guy having a hard time meeting a lady, go the fuck outside and stop thinking about your, dare I say, shortcomings. Just learn to be respectful and hold interesting conversation, be funny, work on your looks, work on spitting game. Just don't fall for the bullshit that's constantly being put online about how short dudes are undesirable. It's nonsense put forth by big tool to try and put us down. Absolutely. That is so true, and that's not a quote from me, but like when I was younger, you'd see all this stuff online about being like, oh man, you need to be like 6'2" to be desirable to women, and I believed it when I was like a young lad. I was a young lad of maybe, like, I don't know, 16, and I believed it, and I believed I was doomed. I believed I was doomed as a 5'6.5" man. But like, you go outside and you realise that most women don't really care. Most women are willing to sort of see through that. Dating apps, again, are like the only place where it really matters that much, because it is superficial. Like, you're putting pictures of yourself on there, you're putting your height, you're putting like your fucking achievements and shit in your bio, I guess. You're putting your job, you put, like, it's superficial. The real world is far less superficial than like Hinge or Tinder. Drinking out of a water bottle with your mouth on it is gross, and you've written like a whole essay on this. I'm just gonna read the first point you make. I've always been taught to drink water the waterful way, where your mouth doesn't come into contact with the bottle's opening at all. The reason was that if you constantly drink water with your mouth on the bottle, there's going to be a lot of backwash accumulated in the bottle throughout the day. I guess, maybe, but if it's your own stuff, like, it doesn't matter, does it? It's especially gross when someone does it right after eating. Nobody I talk to about this seems to understand why it's gross. Maybe I'm being unreasonable, but I grew up this way. And at this point, even if my boyfriend drinks out of it with at least brushing his teeth before, I just get a new bottle. Nah, you're being dramatic, I think. I disagree. Sorry, what? Ice cream should be eaten with a fork. Every time I have a tub of ice cream, I need to grab a utensil. I will always choose a fork instead of a spoon, but it'll just, like, melt through the fucking things. When you eat ice cream with a spoon, you have to put the spoon all the way in your mouth, resulting in a metallic kind of taste from the metal in the spoon. However, if you use a fork, you can easily spear a chunk of ice cream and have it so the ice cream is in a bite-sized chunk at the end of your fork. This way, you can eat a chunk of ice cream without having to put the utensil all the way in your mouth. Or you could lick it off the spoon. You could lick it off the spoon. I can kind of understand where you're coming from, but I like my ice cream, you know, kind of soft. I don't like it hard enough that you can pierce it with a fork and pick it up without it dripping, you know? So I'm going to disagree with that. Small business owners are the most insufferable people on the planet. This is a real unpopular opinion. I want to hear them out. Because, like, okay, a lot of small business owners on TikTok are fucking insufferable. I'm going to be real. But I think putting all small business owners under this blanket of insufferable is a bit strong, right? There are some that are insufferable, just like in all walks of life. They are, by necessity, completely self-absorbed and thinking about their job 24/7, lose all facets of their personality other than their business, becoming extremely boring to interact with, and are constantly soliciting favors. There is no such thing as a normal, meaningful, deep connection with a small business owner. They are constantly looking for ways to use you as a stepladder, otherwise they're not interested in you. On top of it all, they usually have a big ego and superiority context. Small businesses are amazing and necessary, and I love them, but the people behind them are the absolute worst. I am going to disagree because I feel as though you've had a bad experience with one or two, and you're trying to blanket everyone else with that. But there are some on TikTok that are quite obviously very insufferable. Banks shouldn't need to earn money; they should be non-profit. This sounds like a great idea until you actually think about it for more than 5 seconds. Like, did you know? I didn't know this. It costs, like, whenever you send a payment, it costs the bank money. It costs the bank money every time you send a payment. Crazy stuff. I'm not going to read all this, but I disagree. It should be socially normal to have yellow teeth. No, I mean, like, I'm not saying get turkey teeth. Turkey teeth look absolutely ridiculous. Don't get turkey teeth. But, like, having yellow teeth? Nah, come on. Take some pride in your appearance. Having pearly white teeth requires a lot of regular bleach / extensive dental work. No, it doesn't. Like, my teeth aren't yellow, and I don't really do anything to them. I just brush them twice a day. I wouldn't say I have yellow. I don't have yellow teeth. You don't need to bleach your teeth to not have yellow teeth. It's normal to have your teeth stain over time, and in World War I, the Europeans frequently wrote about the Americans and their weird white teeth. Stained teeth are not unhealthy. You can brush several times a day and floss and still stain them with coffee or tea. Yeah, true. But I don't know. I don't know. But I think when I imagine yellow, I'm imagining like piss yellow, you know, like proper yellow, like you see the space bar on my keyboard, like that kind of yellow. I don't think that should be. Maybe if you're like well old and like you just drank loads of coffee in your time, but I you know, I'm in the middle with that one. I feel as though this is a real debatable one. This one is divisive one. That was the word I was looking for. It was a real divisive one. Vets these days take full advantage of the fact that society is now more compassionate towards animals than in the past. Yes, totally, but yeah, they are essential, aren't they, vets? They do charge a fucking hell of a lot. That tooth will need to be pulled. This $100 food. What the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck was that? I didn't even know I had Skype on my computer. Who was that? What the fuck? What on earth? That scares the shit out of me. Who on earth was that? What the fuck? Anyway, let's get back to this. That tooth will need to be pulled. This $100 food must be consumed. Mix this joint powder with her meal because I heard her leg click. Let's do an $800 ultrasound because she's not eating. Vets manipulate by casting shame on you for not going into debt in your effort and care. I don't think they cast shame on you because I think they acknowledge that a lot of people can't afford like these like incredibly expensive things, like an $800 ultrasound. That's a hell of a lot of money. But I do agree that maybe they are taking full advantage of the fact that we actually care about our pets now instead of like back in the day, people like if a dog had like an unwanted litter of puppies, people would just like fucking put them in a bag and throw them in a river. That would never happen nowadays. Someone would be public enemy #1 if they did that, and rightfully so. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for this video. Like and subscribe.